already won that competition. First day back, yeah. Like she never left, right? It is Tuesday, June 27th. Glad to have everybody along. And in fact, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. So very, very happy to have you on board this morning. It really, really is. And believe me, absolutely fantastic. We're heading to Ireland. But first of all, let me welcome everybody on board. If you're a first-time viewer, listener, partaker, why not do this? Why not sub, thumb, bell? Bell notifications when we have important people, much like Ben Real. And believe me, I'm fascinated with Ben coming out of Ireland. I can't even pronounce the name of the town he's in. I'm going to get him to do that. But having said that, why not subscribe? Yeah, sub, right? Become part of the family. We call it the noise here at Galaxy simply because it is growing exponentially every day. Really, really is. Be a part of our family. Double D on the thumb thing. You know what to do with that. Get epileptic. But in the meantime, let's kick it off. Today, coming out of Ireland is Ben Real, all in good time at Galaxy.
Word is on the street today.
Ben, since we've been playing your song, we've been inundated with people saying, you sound like Roy Orbison.
Yeah. Only I did an interview earlier on today, the guy in England, the radio station in England, and he said the same, that he was getting people saying that a lot of people have said that the Roy Orbison comparison. Yeah, it's a good comparison of it, because I'm a big fan of Roy. He's one of my favourite singers of all time.
Believe me, I'm right there with you too. Shimmer Johnson's joining us. Hello, Shimmer. Nice to have you back, sweetheart. It really, really is. Lucien Rossi. Lucien, nice to have you, bro. Franco Nanucci's joining us. Hello, Franco. Love the rock flowers as well. Marty McCoy. Cheryl Schofield. Hello, Cheryl. Love the work that's coming out of... Oh, look. Look at that. Terry Van Cannon's on board wearing your shirt today, brother man. I really, really am. It's an absolute pleasure to be wearing Bemused. It really is. Cheryl says, thank you both for everything you do to support the artists. And believe me, I'm loving what's coming out of the entertainment company. Cut the Bello. I love that name. It's just absolutely fantastic name. It is. It's great. So Ben, I don't know. Can you understand my accent?
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
That's
no
good.
problem. Can you understand mine?
Yes.
I can, but maybe a Guinness or two might help me a bit more.
Yeah.
That's a third food group over there, isn't it, Guinness?
That's it. Yeah. The more, yeah. If sometimes when I'm over in Holland and people are speaking Dutch, sometimes if I drink enough, I can actually understand the Dutch, and I can't speak a word of Dutch.
You understand exactly where I'm coming from then.
Yes.
You do. I was just asked a couple of minutes ago, has he got any good Irish jokes? I'll probably hit you up on that one very, very shortly. I'll give you some time.
I'll have to think about that one,
Yeah. Well, I've actually got a good one for you, but it's something that actually did happen. And
Right.
I'll tell you about it when we get on air. I'm sure you'll appreciate it. You really will. Because these two fellas, true Irishmen, they really are true Irishmen. They do come from a place called Dublin. So, believe me, these guys are funny as hell. They really are. So I'll tell you about what happened the other day when I met one of them in the pub.
Right.
I'm sure, I really thought, I'll cover it in a minute. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're heading all the way over to Ireland now. I'm going to get him to pronounce the name of his town, because I just can't get my tongue around it. I really, really can't. Welcome, Ben Real.
Hello, Grant.
It is,
Hello, you people in New Zealand. Great to see you.
well,
Good to be here.
it's an absolute pleasure to have you, Ben. It really, really is. Now, you're going to have to pronounce this for me. I've given it a good shot in the past, and it really doesn't work for me. How do you pronounce the name of your town?
Are you talking about South Armagh? Armagh.
There you go. Yeah.
Armagh. Think of Armagh. Your mother, Armagh.
Well, believe me,
Armagh, yeah.
if I thought of Irma, then there might be lawsuits involved, so I'm not even going to go there with that one. Really. Nice to have you on board, my friend, and believe me, I've been a fan ever since I've listened to your music. Now, let me fill you in on the picture here. It is really, really not easy to get an interview with us here at Galaxy, even played on Galaxy, because we only play the best in the world, literally. So you tick all the boxes. You get past Barbara and a red pen. You get past Barbara and production. You've got past the board. Literally once a month the board meets. They review all the upcoming music that we have, and their only concern is our image. You know what I mean? So it's got to be good. Then it comes to me. Barbara gives it to me on a little USB device that I play in my car. Now I get no information. Absolutely nothing. I don't know the name of the artist, don't know the title of the track, and it's based literally whether I want or not to do the interview is based on the music. Can you understand that?
Yeah, great.
So there's a number of strategic ways of getting through there. Two reasons why I listen to you in my car. Two, by the way, Ben. First reason is simply nobody else can influence me on whether or not I want to do the interview.
Yeah.
Okay, believe me, in the past I've had a lot of people going, yeah, do it, and it was an absolute failure, you know what I mean? So I've been an engineer myself for almost 40 years, and I've travelled and worked with some of the biggest bands in the world. I've had a very, very privileged career, so believe me, when I listen to music, I don't listen to it as a fan, I kind of listen to it as an engineer, DJ, salesperson, yada yada, you know what I mean? So it's on a different level. Oh, by the way, second reason is nobody else wants to drive with me. It's true. It really is true. Even Barbara won't drive with me. Now check this out. Her former husband was a New Zealand car racer. Her son is a former New Zealand champion car racer. Her grandson is current New Zealand champion car racer. She won't get in the car with me.
Well, you drive faster than them, yeah?
No,
You know, what's wrong with sideways?
He's a grandpa driver.
If you're having a good time listening to good music, why not have a little bit of a play at the same time? You know what I mean? It's all in a good time. I got to be honest with you.
Well, as long as you keep it between the ditches, that's the main thing.
Yeah, well, believe me, I do. Where we are, we're in between three major cities here in the North Island. Of course, we're talking about Tauranga, Rotorua and Whakatane. We're in a little town in between, which is a milling town. Literally, we're surrounded by forestry, and I know where they keep the fire break keys. I do. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really, really is. Terry Van Cannon says he does sound a little like Roy. Very nice stuff. Yeah, well, I got to be honest with you, Terry. I got to agree. Now, Terry Van Cannon, who's watching at the moment, I'm wearing his T-shirt right now, by the way. He is a master on slide steel guitar coming out of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Loves your stuff. Alice Walker's in there as well. Nice to have Alice. Now, believe me, Alice, love your work as well. Looking forward to catching up with you in the near future. Hoping the podcasts are going well. Awesome, absolutely. And love on to the you-know-who's over in Canada as well for us, won't you? Now, tell me about All in a Good Time. Now, we opened up the show with this. I want to know about the lyrics.
Yeah. Well, tell me that in first place. I heard some cheering after. Was that a live version you got there or something? No?
It was a live version.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how did you get a live version of that song.
Oh, you'll be surprised how we come up with stuff, my friend. You really, really will. We're better detectives than the detectives themselves.
007.
Well, that song was actually from it was from my last record. Well, a record I released in 2020, and we had a pretty famous bass player playing on that record. Gary Talent from the E Street Band played on that album. I actually recorded that album in Nashville. It was produced by a great guitar player, producer called Will Kimbrough. Yeah, I guess it was funny that because the lyrics in that song is kind of was written before the pandemic, and then when the pandemic happened, the lyrics kind of I nearly prophesied it or something, you know, that what was coming ahead, you know. It was a kind of it was a song, kind of an anthem for the times the tough times we were going through, you know, and you know, the war had gone crazy, as they said, you know, the war went crazy.
Now, at the same time, did that give you more time through the pandemic, like a lot? Excuse me. I'm getting a little bit of feedback, and the guys upstairs are not helping me too much. Now, while the pandemic was going on, did it give you more time to sit down, write, and record more music?
It did, yeah. Well, for the first 3 months, I did nothing. I was just actually because if you think about it, since I was 17, I would have been out playing. I was playing in bands since I was 17. So it was like I used to always be out gigging every weekend somewhere, heading away somewhere or going somewhere. So for the first 3 months, I actually, come the weekend, I was just going, wow, it's a Saturday night and I can just sit on my couch and do nothing, you know, this is great. I actually enjoyed the first 3 months, you know. And then, of course, the novelty of that wore off. But yeah, I think it was a creative time. I did write a lot. I probably I caught up on a lot of things that, because you know, when you're touring and that, I had to mix a lot of I actually mixed a lot of live stuff that was in the can that I had in the can. Didn't get time to mix and stuff. So I tied up a lot of loose ends, if you know what I mean, you know.
Absolutely, I do. Now, at the same time, did you follow the politics that was happening in England, for instance, with Boris and his parties?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, yes. Yeah.
I did too. In fact, I got in touch with Boris and I says, well, when are you having your next party? You better send me an invitation. He said to me, and I'm not kidding you, he really did say this.
I think it is sensible to wait just a little longer.
I've been waiting ever since. I mean, now he's in trouble with everybody else, and I'm still waiting for the invitation for the party. So come on, Boris, about time we took care of your haircut for you. You never know. Isn't it weird? Different haircuts in power these days. Well, not these days, but I mean, Trumpy, he had a weird kind of deal, didn't he?
Well, that's it. You had to have a stupid hairdo to become, you know, you seem to become, you got the votes if you had a stupid hairdo, you know. Trump and Boris and...
well, you put those two together in a windstorm, they'd look like those things you get down at the car sales yard.
Yeah.
They really would. Now, I've got to ask you, Tracy coming out of Michigan is asking, Ben, as a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you a talker?
Yeah, I'm on all those things. Ben Reel, BENREEL. The best place to go is my website, is benreel.com, BENREEL.com, and then all the links are there to all the different, for Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And you can also, it's the only place in the world you can buy my CDs.
Now, Ben, at the same time, if a fan does get hold of you, do you respond?
I do indeed, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
And it's myself. I respond myself, yeah.
I don't. Literally, honestly, I have so many people. I actually have somebody do it for me, to be very honest with you. But surprise, surprise, sometimes I actually get my phone back and actually respond myself, so you never know. Might just be me. Believe me. Cheryl Arnold is...
I haven't as many fans as you, Grant, yet.
Well, believe me, I never seem to have the time though, Ben. I've got to be honest with you. I get here about 10:30 at night. I might be lucky to leave here about 5 in the evening. So my day is pretty chewed up in different aspects of working in radio. You know what I mean? Believe me, it's not just one of these jobs you think anybody can do. It really isn't.
Oh, yeah.
But
well, we'll do it, yeah. Takes a skill.
I do welcome anybody that wants to give it a go. I'll give you a shot, literally. So get in touch with me. You never know. You never know. Might even take you over to Papua New Guinea when we open up over there as well. Yeah, we've got things in the oven. Now, Ben, don't fight it, baby.
Yeah.
Are you being facetious to me?
No.
Tell me all about Don't Fight It.
Yeah, well, funny, I was going to call a guy that he'd done the first mix of it, and he says maybe you shouldn't call it "Don't Fight It, Baby" because it does sound a bit precarious, but it doesn't mean that anything like that. It's actually basically the song's about just seizing the moment in life, and going for it, and you only have one life, and just have to you just gotta. Don't waste the chances and just go out there and do it and go for it. That's what the song's all about.
Absolutely love it, love it, love it. So joining us live, coming out of Ireland, is Ben Real and Don't Fight It, Baby.
If there was one more song that I had to write.
Gosh, it's hot in here. What's the temperature where you are, Ben?
Well, it's today it was around 18 degrees. So it was but the last month the weather was really, we had great weather for a month there, and it was over 20, from 20 to 25. It was beautiful. Last month.
It's winter time here, and we're currently on 21.
Wow, no way, yeah.
On average, when I first moved here, we would be looking at 15 to 18 about the same time. You know what I mean?
So the North Island use have good. The South Island would be more like Irish weather, probably, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you want to go to Dunedin, you can have the hell out of that place. You really can. I went to university there and spent 5 years in university down there. They used to call us scarfies because we all wore scarves. You know what I mean? It was that damn cold. And that was in the summertime.
Jesus. So you have mild winters up where you are, yeah?
Yeah, we do. In fact, we had an absolute catastrophe of a summer, and I want you to resonate this one. We had 91 days non-stop, 91 nights of rain. Okay.
No way.
Now,
in the summer.
In the summertime, it was pretty much all of the summer. Okay. We did have about 10 days of fine weather. I know we counted them. I ran out of fingers. We actually did have 10 days. But in the Bible, Ben, it says it rained for 40 days, 40 nights, and some dude built a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 91 bloody days of weather and no boat.
Sure. And was there a lot of flooding?
Oh yeah. Auckland got hammered. Down Gisborne way, they got hammered as well. Taurapiti, just absolutely written off some of the cities down there.
No way.
Yeah. In forestry.
It sounds biblical. It does sound biblical.
Oh look, in forestry, this is our own stupid fault. In forestry, back in the day, we used to burn off all the rubbish.
Yeah.
Right? But the politicians with nice collars and nice ties decided that's going to cause global warming. So now they leave it on the ground, not thinking, of course, about the gases that it creates, right? But it takes forever to break down.
Yeah.
Then we get, honestly, biblical rains like we did, and it becomes what we call slash. And that came down and wiped out a whole city.
Holy shit.
Yeah, believe me, it did.
Ruined the
True deal.
roads, still ruined.
The roads are still ruined. There's still people waiting to get help from their housing insurances, and it's a mess.
Galaxy.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're in Ireland. We've been there a couple of times now, but it's the first time we've met Ben Real, and believe me, I'm absolutely fast becoming a big fan of Ben's work, literally. Now, don't find it, Ben, was this your latest track?
Yeah, well, this is the first song on the new record, which has come a long way. Is the name of the album, and it's actually officially coming out on all platforms like Spotify and iTunes this Friday. Friday the 30th of June is the release date
That's
of the
fantastic.
album.
You know, we're just in time. Honestly, this is perfect timing. It
Perfect
really,
timing, yeah.
absolutely. Now, I've got to ask you, Ben, on your website, do you have merch? Do you sell t-shirts, koozies, guitar picks?
I do, yeah. There's t-shirts. There's a merch store with the t-shirts, and then there's the music store with all the CDs, and there's even vinyl. There's vinyl of the Nashville Calling album, but and CDs, of course, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. So, folks, go online, get on the interwebby thing, go and check out Ben Real coming out of Ireland, and just enjoy.
Yes, all right. And you're dealing straight with the artist. We're cutting out the middleman, and I'll post it anywhere in the world, even to the moon. If you're on the moon, you can get one.
That's a holiday home, literally. That's where my wife wants to send me. Yeah, she does, believe me, she really does. Now, having said that, now that I know you got merch, maybe, just maybe, you might want to be able to pass on a t-shirt with your brand on it that I can wear while I'm doing these interviews. Believe me, people do go and have a look.
Sure, man, yeah. What size are you? You look like a medium.
I'll get Barbara to pass that on to you. Believe me, my six-pack is now just a pub pet.
Yeah.
But I'm not smuggling a wok quite yet. You know what I mean? I'm doing okay, literally. Having said that, my friend, believe me.
As I say in Ireland, it took a lot of money to put that six-pack there.
Well, it did actually, and it's well paid for.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, there is a portion of Guinness in here somewhere. I'm sure I can find it. I really can.
There's plenty of that in mine too.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hardwired Blues. Now, I love this track. Believe me, as I said, I'm an engineer, and I listen to music as an engineer would listen to it, not as a fan. And it was the first track I heard of yours, which basically said to me, Grant, I want to know more. So tell me about Hardwired Blues.
Yeah, well, as I said, you know, I have my own studio here, so I recorded that myself, and I mixed it and mastered it myself, that song. I guess I was going for that kind of, you know, that old school Dylan kind of 1965 sound, you know, when Dylan first went electric, you know. It was kind of trying to get that vibe in it, you know, and kind of, it was the first time on this new album, it was the first time I did all the electric guitar work myself as well, because during lockdown, you know, you weren't bringing in guitar players, so I just decided I did it all myself, you know. So I played most of the instruments on this record, you know. Apart from the drums and bass, I wouldn't go there, but everything else was more or less myself, you know, which was it was kind of proud of doing that, you know, for the first time. It was kind of you know, I wouldn't be I have got some great guitar players around me who are far more skilled than I am, but I think I think it gives it more raw feel. This, I think, with myself doing it, with my with my raw touch, I guess.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Ben. As I said, I'm an engineer. I've worked with some of the most, excuse me, most prestigious recording studios, not only here in New Zealand but around the world. And I've worked with some of the best and most famous artists from around the world as well. Even toured with them. I do front of house as well. So believe me, I've had my fingers on the desk for many, many years. I couldn't tell whether this was a studio professional job or a studio home job sounding professional. Believe me, the quality of this work is absolutely superb, Ben. I've got to give you your props.
Well, I did invest in a lot of really good, really high-end microphones and preamps, so I got really some nice gear, I built it, have my own studio now for 10 years. When I started off, I built up more, I became like a gear geek, where you just have to get the better microphone and a better preamp and stuff. So I've got a really nice setup now. So I'm getting a good sound, and I've learned a lot over the year too. It's just a learning process. You keep, and I'm still learning, all the time, and it's great. It's good fun.
Welcome to my world. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, Ben Real coming out of Ireland, Hardwired Blues here at Galaxy.
I'm guilty of breaking my own rules.
So Ben, I ask everybody this. Are you a vegetarian by any chance? Are you a vegan?
I'm not, no.
So you like meat and, stuff like that, like me? I'm a meatologist, to be honest with you.
No, I do eat meat now for my friends, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Ben, the reason why I ask this is, have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
A vegan sausage? I think I have, yeah.
Yeah, was it made of real vegans?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Honestly, I've been trying to figure this out. When I found out that Girl Guide biscuits weren't made of real Girl Guides, I was, I've been blacklisted by Johnson & Johnson. You know the
blacklisted?
Yeah, literally, they won't return my calls, they won't return my texts, my emails, nothing, bro. And believe me, all I did was ask how many babies goes in a bottle. I mean, seriously, wasn't that bad, was it? I think 3 fat ones, reduced down, personally.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So tell me, Brad, who you were saying that you worked with some big artists. Who have you worked with as engineer and stuff?
Oh, look, where shall I start? David Bowie.
Wow, no way. Wow,
honestly, we've done Metallica, we've done so many over the years. But I used to tour with a band coming out of Australia that has 4 initials to its name.
In excess?
Yeah. I was their senior engineer. Up until a certain point where everything stopped.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Sure, it was a tragedy, what happened there, yeah.
But I was with them for 36 months.
Yeah, there was a Northern Ireland guy who was singing with them there for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Guy from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I know. In fact, a guy I went to university with is their lead singer right now.
Yeah.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today I'm absolutely elated to be talking to Ben Real coming out of Ireland. and believe me, I'm loving his work. Now, Ben, you've been around playing for a number of years now. Over the years, you've perfected your craft. I think you've been doing almost 20 years as a solo artist.
Yeah, well, I released my debut album as a solo artist in 1989, and this new album coming out now is my 11th album. And before that, though, I would have started, 1989 was my first band, when I was 17 after I left school. So, yeah, I've been at it now, over 30 years, yeah.
So, how many times have you toured New Zealand?
Not yet, but it's on my bucket list.
I meet a lot of people with bucket lists. I'm sure they got holes in their bucket somewhere along the way because they never seem to get here. But
well, there is an opportunity there because I know a guy. I'm actually going to play a gig with him in September, and he tours. He spends 6 months in New Zealand, and then he spends 6 months in Europe. His name is John Sanders, great musician, and he plays with another guy from New Zealand called Dave Alley, another fantastic musician. They both played they both actually stayed in my house here. I actually got a few gigs with them in Ireland. So John has said to me that someday, he'd love to take me over to New Zealand. So I would love to do that someday.
Well, I got to be honest with you. The more you say those names, the more they are starting to sound a little more familiar to me, if you know what I mean. I'm going to do a little bit of research somewhere along the way. I think just maybe, I might have bumped into one or two of those guys. But we would love to have you performing here in New Zealand. Would you consider coming?
I would love to, yeah. If there was an opportunity arose of festivals or something, or a tour, I'd love to. If you know a good booking agent there or something to take me over, I'd jump at the chance, yeah.
Well, I tell you what say you get together with the other two guys there and get in touch with Barbara and see what can be created out of that, because she is the manager of Aurora Entertainments, which does work with bands coming into the country, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's great to hear.
I don't know how she finds the time to do it, to be honest. She's got to look after me as well, being my PA, my on-air cohort as well. Believe me, she's very, very busy. And then she does all of these interviews and everything as well. So I think she's a robot, to be honest. I really do.
So I didn't know you was an AI in New Zealand already.
Oh yeah, believe me, there really is. I'm pretty sure of it. Joe Weston's joining us. Hello, Joe. Nice to have you on board. It really, really is. And Kathy Hunsberger is joining us as well. Nice to have you on board, Kathy. Love that. Now, I got to ask you, my friend, Isolation Blues. It's got to be pandemic-y.
Yeah, it's all about that shit. Yeah. Can I say the word? Can I say that word?
Oh, you already did. Never mind. It's already done. Don't worry about it. I get into trouble all the time, but other people get away with it. You're fine. Believe me. My bosses can't reach you. Whereas,
as long as you don't get in trouble.
Well, believe me, my boss over here, she's got something heavy to throw at me any given moment. She really, really does.
Yeah.
So tell me about Isolation Blues. Why did you do a song about the pandemic?
Well, it's a kind of a tongue-in-cheek look at it. I guess there's a song that we all could have wrote this song, because we all experienced it, So it's kind of well, it's as I said, it's a kind of a tongue-in-cheek look at the whole thing, and made it a wee bit fun, It's a kind of a fun blues song, about it, At least we can look back and kind of, half laugh about it now, You can never really laugh about it because it was such a waste of time.
It really was, wasn't it? I got to be honest with you, it really was. But at the same time, I mean, it did give musicians time to sit back, reflect, and put a few things down on paper. I got to be honest with you. So, and for me, I thought the pandemic. Did you go out to the cities when there was nobody around? Were you the only person walking down the street, for instance? Did you ever do that?
Well, I live in the country, so it was actually, we were blessed because we were in the country and we could go we could walk all around the countryside. So I felt, yeah, I can imagine what it was like for people in the cities. It must have been really tough, but we were lucky in the sense, and and my family just live around here as well, so we kind of, we was still with my family and stuff, and we were kind of, isolated in the country by ourselves. So it was grand. I can't complain. It was good. And as I say, I did get very creative, and I did like the new album is reflects it's an album about reflection, and kind of looking back on my life, and so kind of that all came out of it as well, So there was good things came out of it,
Absolutely, absolutely. I've got to be honest with you. Believe me. Have you ever seen the movie Crystal Palace?
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, believe me.
No.
Believe me. Being a journalist, from time to time we get.
That's the name of a soccer team in England. You know that, Crystal Palace.
Yeah, well, we got a movie here in New Zealand. New Zealand made movie too, by the way.
Yeah.
Got acted way back in the day, like Ian Mune and people like that in it, who I knew very, very well before he passed away. But having said that, there's a scene in there where the whole city is absolutely just nobody around. It's like it every day. You got cars sitting on the side of the road, everything like that. It looks like, but then suddenly, there's nobody around. A guy wakes up and finds he's the only person left on the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And from time to time through the pandemic, see, being a journalist, we work with police and television and stuff like that to cover some news. You know what I'm saying? So we'd get a tip, we'd head off to one of the cities that are close to us and get invested into what's going on there at the time. But from time to time, you found yourself walking down these streets, absolutely Crystal Palace. You know what I'm saying? It was weird.
Yeah.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And of course, having permission to be able to do so, you get a police officer will rock up to you going, "What the heck are you doing?" Well, I'm a journalist and I'm going to such and such, so I get away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It would have been a good time to shoot a music video, because when you have a city empty, it's like a good backdrop for a music video.
Exactly. I mean, when do you ever get that?
Yeah. I tried to do it in Dublin one time, shoot a music video with nobody around. This is before the pandemic, but we got up at 4:00 in the morning, before people got to work, and we shot around Dublin, but
we wanted to have a big concert after the pandemic is over and done with, and call it the Fandemic concert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it was a fantastic name. It didn't work for anybody else. Anyway, joining us live out of course, Ireland is Ben Real and Isolation Blues here at Galaxy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Donnie Coulter's back. Nice to have Donnie back again. Oh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. We have one more song for you. Oh, by the way, I've got to let you know, 1,871 requests for Isolation Blues so far.
No way. Wow.
It's doing quite well here at Galaxy.
Jeez, that's amazing.
170. Okay, 170 countries are tuned in right now, my friend. How many cities?
25, 12.
2,512 cities around the world are tuned in.
No way.
Yeah.
Amazing, hey.
They're in a row making money.
Yeah,
How long has your show been going? How long have you been doing this show?
here at Galaxy, we've been doing it for 9 years now.
Yeah.
And I used to work for government radio and that prior to this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And does it go out, do you go out to a local station there in New Zealand, or it goes out live on
Yep,
as well to on terrestrial radio, yeah?
Yep,
Yeah,
we're all
right.
FM as well as being on the interwebby thing. And believe me, when we first started this, Barbara and I, we were doing a Monday night thing called a Skype Party Monday. We were, I'm not kidding with you, we were getting drunk on air, right? And we had all our friends joining us and stuff. Well, the bosses didn't like it. It wasn't good for our image, apparently, so they said, look, we like the idea of the Skype thing, just leave out the alcohol.
Tone it down.
Basically, or you're fired. You know what I mean?
funny. Because we were during the pandemic. Myself and my wife, we did a Friday night concert every Friday night. You know, on Facebook Live as well. You know, and basically, yeah, we'd be drinking as well as we were playing. You know, and it became kind of a half music show stroke comedy show.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I tell you what, that's how this started. Because
Yeah.
Barbara and I went, what the hell are we going to do if we can't drink on, and get our mates on? So we decided to start talking to indie artists, okay?
Yeah.
Almost 4,000 interviews later, we're still doing it. But we were happy to start with hoping that we had 10 people.
Jeez.
Believe
That's
me, bro.
amazing. Yeah.
I'll let you know how many were online for this. You will be surprised.
Coming down with isolation blues.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Samantha Sheldon Eubanks is watching. Nice to have you on board, Samantha. It really, really is. Welcome back. Donnie Coulter says, switch to F. I think he means weed. You've been smoking too much of that product yourself if you can't spell that one. Come on, bro. Switch to weed. No, my bosses wouldn't let me do that either, so it is illegal here in New Zealand at the moment. But I think there's laws and everything in place that are changing that very, very quickly. So you never know, we might become almost like the Canadians or Californians. Something like that anyway. What is it over there? Is it legal in Ireland, marijuana?
No. But there is inklings that the Germans are going to go for it. So if Germany does it, the rest will follow. You know, it's legal in Holland, Spain, and Portugal, I think, in Europe at the minute. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Believe me, I remember the days where you could only go to Amsterdam to get out of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're trying to kind of roll that back a bit because there's too many British and Irish tourists going over and getting completely whacked out of their head, you know.
Do you blame them? I mean,
No.
why do it in your own
Escape
backyard?
Brexit.
Exactly. Let's go over there and do it.
They have to turn the escape forest, you know.
Well, I got to be honest with you. The weirdest thing in the world to me was when I was in Amsterdam. Literally, a friend of mine and I were sitting on a park bench, and we'd rolled ourselves a fairly large kind of cigarette, and a police officer came over and lit it for us. Weirdest sensation ever. It really was.
That's the way. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, it should be, absolutely. But, where I come from, if a police officer comes over for anything, it's not to light your joint. You know what I mean? Yeah, they give you those little silver cuppy things to put on.
That's the way in a perfect world. That's the way it should be. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. But having said that, I've got a lot of friends over in Canada that say, Grant, you're in the wrong country. Come over here and have a smoke. You know what I mean? Not that I endorse it, not that I partake, not any of that. It's just conversation, okay? So don't get the wrong idea. And
well, we're all grown ups. We should have the choice to make that choice ourselves. You know.
yes, absolutely. I do agree. I do agree.
Freedom to make the choice. Yeah.
Absolutely. I prefer it over alcohol any day. Got to be honest with you.
Well, alcohol is probably a more harmful drug. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not endorsing weed either. You know, I'm not a big weed smoker, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you didn't say you weren't a weed smoker. But having said that, Ben, and believe me, I'm right there with you. I think more people have died caused by alcohol over marijuana.
Yeah, well, it's a fact. You know.
Yeah, believe me. It's really a pain in the butt when you hit a pothole and you got a beer in your hand and you just crash. Whereas if you drop the joint, well, who cares?
Yeah. As long as you don't burn the house down.
Well, you drive it, yeah. Terry Williams is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Terry. It really, really is. And you've joined us at the most appropriate time because I'll tell you why. Ben Real is making a huge sensation. I'm playing every morning on The Breakfast Show, and everybody loves Hunter. Now, tell me about this track. Believe me, I think it's the one song that, and I get so many people say, that is so much like Roy O. That is phenomenal. Tell me about Hunter. Where'd you come up with this?
Yeah.
Are you still there, Ben?
It's inspired from, you remember the Robert Litton film, The Night of the Hunter, the Dark Night of the Hunter. But it's, yeah, people, I know some people, some DJ asked me once, is it about a stalker? No, it's not about a stalker. It's kind of about, having the hunger in life to succeed, the fire in your belly and the hunger to go for it, that's what the song's about, So it's like, yeah, I'm like a hunter. Just keep going, it's get up to reach it, I guess, and keep hunting.
Ben, and I go.
That's my diplomatic way of saying it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I got to let you know, so far, Ben, and believe me, you are being requested through the roof to be on my breakfast show. Almost every breakfast show since we started playing Ben Real. Literally, Hunter is currently sitting on 3,199 requests. One more request, you get 4,000 requests. Believe me, that's a phenomenal amount of people asking for your music.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Congratulations, my friend.
Man.
It is your.
Yeah, it's actually it's kind of inspired as well. You ever see the TV Netflix show Stranger Things?
Yeah, I have.
Have you seen that TV show?
Yes, I have.
It's a bit least, from the 80s, the one that Kate Bush running up that became a big hit again. Well, I was watching that show and there was a lot of they were using a lot of that 80s synth sound in it, So in Prophet I used that, or in the song Hunter I used the Prophet 5, that 80s synth sound, and I think it gives it that kind of 80s vibe as well, Ben, Stranger Things vibe.
I kind of identified with that when I very first heard it. I really did, but I think that is the hook that everybody else is identifying with as well. And it is such a pleasure to be able to play Ben Real, the Hunter, here at Galaxy on The Breakfast Show. Are you okay there, Ben? Are you alright there, Ben? Are you okay?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yep, you were breaking up a little bit there before.
Yep, you can hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, you're cutting out. Ben, we're going to wrap it up after this, but please don't go anywhere just yet, because some of the staff are going to take photos, stuff like that, okay? And you'll get a copy of everything we do today, my friend. You really, really will. Barbara's going to make it all into a movie for you as well and give you a copy of that.
Brilliant.
Ben, all I can say is show the movie to people you don't like. He's frozen up again.
Yeah, I'll do that with pleasure.
Yeah, believe me. I tell you why. I've found that a lot of people who show it to people they don't like, those people get their butt into gear, and before you know it, they've perfected their sound and they're in touch with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It works.
Cool, man. Yeah. No, spread the word.
Absolutely.
Still with you there, am I? Yeah.
Yep. You're still there. No, it's okay. I haven't forgotten about that Irish incident that I had as well. I'll tell you
All right.
when we get past this, okay? Believe me, I don't want to share it with everybody that's watching. They might think I'm picking on the Irish. I'm not. It just really did happen. It really did. Oh, by the way, I got a friend of mine. You have a Hyatt hotel over in Ireland, do you?
A hotel.
Yeah, a Hyatt. One of the Hyatt chains. One of the.
Oh yeah.
Yep, like a Sheraton, something like that. I got a friend
Yes,
of mine
yeah.
who is a 5-star chef at the Hyatt in Auckland. He's the boss, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to him the other day, and I says to him, "What's the hardest thing about cooking in the kitchen?" And he said to me, "Vegetables." I went, "Yep, know what you mean. Getting the wheelchairs in the oven must be a bitch."
Oh, terrible.
Oh, you don't get me going about vegetable oil, then, will you? Truly. Ben, we're going to wrap it up right now. Please hang in there, and I've got a couple of more questions for you before we leave. But I got to say thank you for staying up so late to talk to this idiot over here.
Thank you very much, Grant. Thank you for wanting to talk to this idiot over here.
Believe me, Ben, I've fast become a big fan. I really have. And Ben, it's just gone to 4,002 requests, so you can guarantee tomorrow morning it's going to be back in my breakfast show again. Well done.
Brilliant.
It is fantastic. I love this. I really, really do. Ben, I've got a couple of questions for you just before we wrap it up. First of all, is anything new coming out in the near future?
Well, that's it. The new album coming out this Friday. Come a long way, and I'll have to send you a copy then. Definitely. So Friday the 30th of June. New album, come a long way.
And when you get new music out, would you come back again for another interview?
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, definitely. Anytime, Brad.
Well, Ben, it has been an absolute pleasure, my friend. I am so looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better over the coming millennia. Well, let's put it that way. Now, one more question. Magazine? Yep, okay. I want to ask you if I could get Barbara, by any chance, to be able to put you in touch with a friend of mine over in Bangalore in India. Now, he's got a huge magazine over there. It's followed globally around the world. It really, really is. And I talk to not only artists, but I talk to critics on a daily basis, and music and everything like that. Believe me, some are touting this as the next Rolling Stone magazine coming out. It is brilliant. It really is. We do have a column in there ourselves, and I'm just wondering, would you mind if I got Barbara to forward your information on to my friend Jay over there? He'll probably be in touch with you come Facebook, something like that, and get you in their magazine. Would you mind if we promote you there?
Well, I'd love if you did. Please do. That'd be great, Grant and Barbara. Thank you very much. Thank you for that.
Well, as I said,
Spread the word, as I say. Yeah, brilliant.
As I said, Ben, you've got to be something special to be able to get on the interviews with us here at Galaxy, and you've ticked all of those boxes. I was that impressed. Believe me, we would love to have you forwarded on to Jay. Now, he comes out of a region, literally, I think there's about 8 million people where he lives, and I'm sure he knows each and every one of them by first name. Very popular guy, he really, really is. And we'd love to be able to get you in and featured in that magazine. I really, really would. So congratulations there. He'll probably get in touch with you, ask you forward on all the questions, everything like that, and probably ask you to do a very, very quick snippet on, Facebook video, something like that, that he can promote you with as well. Would you mind that?
No problem. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. No
Brilliant. Are you familiar with the Galaxy Artist Facebook page?
Yeah, well, I've been on it. Yeah.
Go and have a look in there. If you've got a new song, if you've got a new logo, if you've got a new anything. I don't care if you're going to the opening of a shoebox, advertise in there, my friend. Believe me, lots and lots of people, could be anybody from a label to a venue owner to an ordinary person like you and me, going to be nosy, if you know what I mean. But the more people
Well,
that see you.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I will indeed. That's great to know. Yeah, brilliant.
And now that I know that you've got a studio, how would you like to do me a couple of voice drops, next time you're near a recordable 58, that I can put on the radio? I'd love, MP3, and would love to be able to get you more of the people following you by just getting to know who you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No problem. Like this is Ben Real here from Ireland. You're listening to Galaxy, something like that.
Absolutely, just like that. Believe me, we'd love it. And don't forget MP3. Some people try and send me zip, and we haven't used zip in about 25 years. You know what I mean? So, believe me. Stephen John Ireland is joining us. Well, guess what? We're in Ireland today, Stephen. So nice to have you on board. But don't go anywhere just yet, Ben, because I know the staff are going to rush the monitors now and take photos and everything like that, okay?
No problem.
One last question. Have you ever been a cartoon before?
No.
No? Well, you're going to be now, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. I got to admit, though, you see, I got the perfect face for radio, okay? I really do. So, believe me, cartoons, one of the few things that actually make me look good. Go figure. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
It's one big cartoon, isn't it?
Well, it is, really, it is. It's an adventure, and, as long as you fly to the third star on the right, you'll be there in no time. Literally. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today here at Galaxy, and believe me, we've got a fantastic week coming up. Yes, we really, really do. In fact, we have Christina Morel joining us on Thursday with Sonny King, and Michael Bott coming out of Philadelphia, going to Finland on Friday with Anna, going to catch up with him from the band Lobsters. Stay tuned there. But in the meantime, join me and Barbara at 6 o'clock in the morning, well actually 5:30 in the morning, and we will take you through the breakfast show. See you there. Have a very happy and successful day. In the meantime, folks, happy radio.